And so we will attempt to pick them off as they come. Let me see if she's available. Senator Klobuchar is making her way towards us. Another chaotic spin room in another city. Klobuchar had a pretty good night, I think we would agree, in effectively sort of turning the conversation in her direction and making a few salient points. Senator Klobuchar, good to see you. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for being with us again. At times it seemed like you were playing mom up there, trying to keep the children in line.
Well, there was a little bit of that, and I think that is because I look at this as such a moment of unity that we have to bring people together. And I have legitimate friendships with people like Bernie Sanders, and, I think that's going to be helpful. So part of my role, while I have very different political views than he does, is to remember that in the end, what unites us is bigger than what divides us, that we have to take the fight to Donald Trump.
But you did try a few times to draw contrast, especially with Mayor Buttigieg. Why do you feel the need to do that?
I did, and I thought that was such an important factor about people's experience, and we haven't talked about it enough on the stage. And at the last debate, he said something about, look at what the 100 years of experience up on this stage, what has it given you? And it never got answered because I didn't have that chance. So I've been waiting for a month, Ed, and I was able to do that and explain all what people had done up on that stage. I think it matters. We've got a guy in the White House that went in there with no political experience at all. People are looking for someone to heal this nation and bring people together. So that factor that you can get things done, I think it really matters.
Strategically, though, he is in your way in Iowa, so there is a need to kind of try to surpass him, right?
Well, no. The way I look at it is this: yes, he right now is doing well in Iowa, but so am I. As I got in a text message from someone the other day that had an autocorrect problem, congratulations on your insurgency in Iowa. They meant surge, because we're now up to 10 points. We have basically doubled our offices, added staff daily, and I think that's an important factor. And when you look in American history, the person leading at this moment in time, at this moment in December, is not the person that won, and not the person that actually became president. Barack Obama wasn't leading at this moment in time. Bill Clinton, Jimmy Carter. And so my issue, of course, is that people don't know me as well across the country. So every debate matters for me. And of course, I'm going to make a contrast with someone who is vying with me for support in these states. That's what debates are for. The question is not that you make those contrasts, it's how you deal with people, and I think I do a pretty good job of that.
One thing that could blunt your momentum, of course, is this impeachment trial if you're drawn back to Washington. You told us last month at the last debate, you'll be there, you'll fulfill your constitutional duty, and your husband and daughter will be put to full use, especially in Iowa, on your behalf. This whole back and forth now, though, about potentially withholding the articles of impeachment until there's some sense of a fair format. Wouldn't jurors like yourself prefer that this get over with as fast as possible?
I was literally in a closed-door meeting. I know you'd like to hear about that, with Senator Schumer. I'm not going to go in the details, but I am in leadership in the Senate. I was the only one on that presidential stage in that meeting, and we discussed timing. And I was a fierce advocate for doing whatever it took to get a trial and to make sure that we had witnesses, as I pointed on the stage, like Mulvaney, like Bolton. Bolton told his own staff, under oath people have said this, to go get a lawyer and that the president was treating this like a drug deal. Yeah, I think we should hear from him. And in fact, if the president claims they will exonerate him, let's hear from them. So my point is that I'm not going to let this campaign get in the way of my duty and obligation as a juror in that very important proceeding. And whatever, the chips will fall where they may. I think the people of this country will appreciate that. I think the people in those 4 early states that are following this pretty carefully, I think they're going to understand. And I have the most endorsements of anyone on that stage in the state of Iowa for electeds and former electeds. That makes a big difference.
So you head to Iowa tomorrow?
I head to Iowa tomorrow on a 27-county tour. Now, let me be honest, Ed. Maybe if the impeachment proceeding wasn't there, I would not be doing 23, 27 counties in 3 days, but such is life. and I just will double down on my work. That's what I've always done. I'm a mom. I can do two things at once.
And are you spending Christmas in Waterloo, or will you go back to Minnesota?
No, I'm going to be in Minnesota with my family, and my dad is there, my husband's family, and so we will be together, and we will have that day to ourselves, yes.
Senator, thank you for stopping by. Safe travels.
Right.
We'll see you again soon.